Yes, the people, and we are live. Big up everyone out here, well people now. The big podcast everyone's waiting for. I know a few of you watched it probably last night as it come on. But we will do our reaction to the Brett Maher Terry Stone podcast, people. I'm interested to see what Big Brett has got to say in this one. Hope everyone's good. Interesting. Rest in peace, Ricky Hatton.
Big Bet made Doncaster Matthew inside. He said, the shooting at us. And I said, yeah, you ran. I just heard all these sirens. I'm responsive coming. Bang. And ran straight in. Mass on the lot. Get down. Brought this guard and shooting. I pulled it out. I was looking through his eye and blinded.
Your dad would go up your grandmum for...
Yeah, literally. I'd have to fight him away from my grandparents. There could be a potential opponent about like sharing things all over. I want Brett Maher so we can fucking have Brett Maher. But brother, you need to lay down, put your feet up quick. Looked at me and my neck just went... I thought, put my hand on here.
I did watch a little bit of it last night, to be fair. I didn't watch the full podcast though, but I did watch a little bit of it last night. And yeah, Brett has got a mad story to tell people. It is a mad podcast, like. But we will get into it. Wait for a couple more to jump in. It is a naughty little scar, that there, to be fair. Goes right up the neck. Big Brett Maher. United got absolutely trounced yesterday, 3-0 off City. What a terrible game that was. I've just seen on That's Football. Mark Goldbridge has just announced that the international break next season will be different. So at the start of the season, you're not going to get an international break after 3 games. You're going to get it after 7, which is well better. It's stupid that they put an international break 3 games into the season starting. I've never understood that myself. Never. We'll get into this Brett Maher podcast in a minute, people. Big Terry Stone, Brett Maher podcast.
To get ambulance quick, I might die. You know what I mean? There's some things you don't do. You don't come into one of those areas. Don't piss in my pond. If you're stabbed or shot or anything, if you eat something or drink something quick, it puts more bloodstream in you. So I grabbed this Boost bar, and I've got been stabbed 16 times and the fuck is eating a Boost bar. No wonder I'm 21 stone much. I had my issues with police in the day, but they saved my life that day. I'm forever grateful for that. Hold on a minute. Let's get in this fucking car and shoot this bastard. Anyone comes in this room for me, I've got this.
That laugh.
BetVictor.
Oh my God.
New customers can get £30 in bonuses and 30 free spins when you wait.
Welcome back to the Criminal Connection podcast. Today, we've got the Doncaster Destroyer in the building. He's a bare knuckle fighting legend. Please put your hands together.
That's a new name for Brett. The Doncaster Destroyer. Bruce Lee. The Doncaster Destroyer. Brett Maher. He's got a few names as Brett.
For Mr. Brett Maher in the building.
Look there, Doncaster.
Get out.
Say, look there.
How you doing?
Things all right, my bro.
Yeah. Do you know something, Brett? It's been funny because I've heard your name probably for the last 3 or 4 years, constantly. And I've always thought, actually, obviously before I even had the podcast, I always just thought I'd like to meet this guy and actually find out who the real fella is.
Nah, you too, mate. I watch a lot of films and you're a living legend.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. So if
it is quite crazy that Brett Mays sat on the other side. Because to be fair, Terry Stone has made some great films. The Essex Boys films, Rise of the Foot Soldiers, are unbelievable.
Literally, because a lot of the viewers will have just seen videos of you online, or you speaking online, or you fighting online, and then obviously everyone's got their comments. You've got the trolls, you've got the lovers, you've got the haters.
Keep going though. Haters pay the bills. Remember that.
Well, the thing is that's always made me laugh about Jake Paul, because Jake Paul was actually, I don't know if you saw one of his fights, but he walked in the ring and he was going, Jake Paul,
Yeah,
and he wanted people to hate him, and people going, why do you want people to hate you? And he's like, because they fucking drive the views.
Because there's no one that views you more than someone that hates you. Remember that. You know what I mean? So the more they hate you, the more traction is coming.
Yeah. So if we go back to, was you born and raised in Doncaster?
One of the things I noticed when I did watch a bit of this podcast last night, what does make me laugh, is when Brett will say something and then he'll go, "You get me?" Start laughing his head off. It's just like, oh, Brett he's a mad character.
I was, mate. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Based on Doncaster.
And what was your sort of background? Was you sort of
background from Stainforth, Doncaster? In Doncaster, you have villages. You see, a lot of mining villages, rough towns, and Stainforth, where I'm from, is the roughest village in Doncaster. Pit Village. My dad was a miner.
Now, is Steve, whatever he said, is that the roughest place in Doncaster, or is Brett just blowing a bit of smoke up his own ass? 1 minute, 47 seconds into the podcast.
Granddad was a miner. My dad was in and out of prison all his life. When I started getting brought up, I started going to prison from an early age, fighting up rough streets. Everyone wanted to be the top man who's the fucking man of this village. And then, I conquered that, but it got me a lot of jail in process.
Right, okay. Because in Little Britain, I don't know if you've seen that, Daffy.
I'd say that,
he's like, I'm the only gay in the village, but you was the like toughest man in the village.
Come on, yeah.
And being from a lot of people that may not know about the mining towns.
Yeah.
I mean, the mining towns are like literally, I mean, those people, I mean, they were like digging things with their hands, weren't they? I mean, they were like alpha males.
Yeah, no. Trust me, mining villages is a known fact. It breeds rough men. You know what I mean? It has done for years. It's the mining strike with Maggie Thatcher and all that. You know what I mean? It's just a known thing. Barnsley, Wakefield, all your mining towns, even Wales. You know what I mean? Wherever you find mining towns, you always find hard men.
Right. And with your father, you said that he was obviously in and out of jail.
Yeah.
Was that just for fighting, or what was that for?
Yeah. My dad was always in and out of jail for fighting GBH Section 18. I remember just always going to visit him in jail as I was growing up.
Right.
From ages of 9 to 10, 11 year olds.
And with your mum, obviously, when she was sort of bringing you up, and obviously dad was in jail. What was that like? Have you got any brothers and sisters as well?
Yeah, I got a little sister who's 7 years younger than me. But when my mum and dad broke up from a young age, see, when I was about 10, 11 year old, a lot of domestic violence and that involved in there. As they went their own ways. And just one of the things really, I started going around to my dad's, and then he developed kind of a drug problem, to be honest with you. And I can remember, like, enough every day, I was like ringing that ambulance on him, because he were overdosing all the time. Anybody brought me up tough though. Yeah.
What was he taking? Was it just sort of
crack, heroin? You know what I mean? Every drug you can think of, plus they were selling it, dealing from there. And then they were like, obviously, shoots, working from flat. And then because I was in the midst of it all,
right?
I was living there at the time. I was like brought up basically like a young pit bull. Do you know what I mean? Wow. So like from a young age, when I was 11, 12 year old, there were a lot of travellers and gypsies in the area, and he'd be like, "You better fight him." And he's chucking me out fighting young traveller lads.
Brett the Pitbull May out fighting all the travellers.
Gypsy lads, 11, 12 years old, and I just got brought up fighting it out really, and people couldn't pay the debts and that. He'd be like, "Yo, smash him in," and I'd be like 13-year-old, can get stuck into these fully grown men. You know what I mean? I sat there shit in a sense. Because my dad was a bit of a fucking boy back in there, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it must have been, for people watching or listening to this podcast, the madness of being brought up in an environment where your dad's obviously a drug addict, he's running shoots out there. You're obviously growing up, and as a young boy, like you said, you're being forced into fighting. Had you always enjoyed fighting?
Yeah, well, they took me into Taekwondo at a young age. I was 4 or 5 year old with Kenny.
I couldn't imagine Brett doing Taekwondo, but obviously when you're younger, obviously he wouldn't have been as big as what he is. I just couldn't imagine Brett doing Taekwondo, I'll be honest with you people.
Bolton from Fawn. I think he's one of the most established Taekwondo men now. I think he's, what is he, 7th Dan or something like that.
Wow.
But because it was international Taekwondo and not world Taekwondo, it was more like tap, no for points. And when I started getting to the age of like 10 years old, I was fighting kids on the street who were proper fucking banging me. My nose is getting busted, my eyes are getting black. And these are just wanting me to tap. It really wasn't cutting it on the streets. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean, people fucking sticking glass bottles over your head, you know, when you're a young lad, and you're thinking this tap shit's not working. So I ended up going into British Championships up in Bristol, and I got disqualified for excessive contact. I ended up fucking filling this kid in.
Whatever lengths you go to build your bet builder,
He's
not match fit! We give you a free bet every week of the Premier League season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction from Ladbrokes.
Disqualified me straight away. So I then went into World Taekwondo with Martin Baker from Hatfield, who's a well-renowned Taekwondoist. Did it for a couple of months there, and I thought, you know what, it's not my thing. So I got into boxing.
Yes.
And then after that, I didn't look back.
And I take it you had quite a few amateur fights as well.
Yeah. A few amateur fights. Yeah.
And what boxing club did you fight for?
I fought for Hatfield ABC.
Right.
Then Lindholm ABC, under a fellow called Pete Bell. He's dead now. But everyone in Doncaster knew him. Ex-SAS man. Hard man, but his son hung himself. Once his son hung himself, he just went down. He wasn't interested no more, and he died of cancer a couple of years later.
I mean that it's funny, isn't it? When you see these people like these real men, they seem to go through a lot of fucking trials and tribulations. Like you said, your dad went through it, you went through it, the SAS guy went through it. Do you know what I mean? It's horrendous to even for anyone to comprehend the amount of pain that must be.
100 million%. Yeah, everyone's got the turmoils and problems, haven't they? So you got to channel them, haven't you?
And with you, Brett, when you with your dad, even though he sort of like made you fight, and did you have sort of like a love for him?
100%. You know what I mean? Love me. I didn't like look at it as like father and son, looked at it like we were brothers, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
Obviously my dad was my best mate, and at the time we did everything together. Just before I got locked up on my prison sentence, I got him off all the stuff. Right. I went around every dealer, as you can imagine. Donny shut them down. Just listen, anyone sells fucking dad this shit, you're getting snapped up. I must have given about 100 deals of good hiding in Doncaster.
Right.
But when the cat's away, the mice will play.
100 dealers, big Brett Macefield in. Now you can understand where he's coming from. You know, people trying to give his dad stuff. You know, and you're trying to get him off it, you're gonna go mad. But I mean, 100 deals to try to fill in is a task on its own.
People will get the money. I'm in prison, so people must have started serving them again. And then next minute, rings my sister from my jail cell. So what are you doing? She says, sorry, I've got some bad news to tell you. So why, what's up? She says, oh, your dad's just died on your city. And I said, what? And you know, I was in old jail at the time as a Cat B prisoner. So I was like, you what? Like that. And they went, yeah. And I didn't really set in at first. I can remember just freezing in that cell. And when I froze, I thought, fuck, you know, wow, like a whirlwind hit me. Do you know what I mean? I put the phone down in a gaze, smoked a bit of vape, you know, to try and get my head around things. And then fucking, madness. When I finally got my head around it, I ended up applying to the governor. I said to the governor, yo, you're going to let me go to this, my father's funeral? You know what I mean? It's dad's funeral. I said, yeah, I can't see it being a problem. Because I was, at the time, a PID worker there. So I thought, yeah, I'm D-Wing, HMPO. And then all of a sudden, they come about 2 days, 3 days later, security governor, and says, sorry, your access has been denied. We're not going to let you go to your dad's funeral. So why? So I've only got a couple of months left. I'm not an escape risk. And they says, we don't have to tell you why. They said, this is the jail. We do what we want to do. And I said, will you? I said, you show you. So after that, mate, I just ripped the jail to pieces. I mean, that was it.
I mean, it must have been fucking heartbreaking for you, you know, like having got your dad off the gear and then getting him back on the right path, and then to have that
100%. Due to, like I told you, I got locked up for blackmail charges.
This was
the sentence.
But
yeah.
what was that? Was that the second time or the third time?
No, this one when my dad relapsed and died.
Right.
So basically, what happened is what I was doing is, and I'm openly honest about it, I was finding out we were making a lot of money through proceeds of crime. A lot of drug dealers, people who were big into cannabis grows, who were around my area, and I was just billing them. There's a term called billing. I was saying right then. I mean, I was saying, you owe me 50 grand, you owe me 50 grand. And before you know it, like, oh, you're not getting no 50 grand. So I had to rough a couple of feathers up.
50 grand.
Do what I've had to do. And yeah, they did me for blackmail and extortion.
Right.
One of them went to CID and says, yo, I'm an openly a drug dealer, but he's been beating me up and fucking billing me. So they gave him full immunity. And they said, no problem. We don't want you. We want Brett. Gave him full immunity and sent me to jail for fucking 3 years.
I mean, genuinely, like when you look at that, right? For me,
I know.
it's like, you know, the reason people rob drug dealers is because they couldn't go.
Yeah,
to
because you get
police.
away with it. But you can't.
Now, that stuff does actually happen. The police do actually do that sort of stuff. But whether they did that with Brett May, I'm not too sure. People obviously have to look into it. People know what's what. But yeah. Brett must have been doing some absolute madness for the police to just let a drug dealer go and slam Brett for 3 years.
No, it's a myth now.
Right.
So if you run into someone's house where there's cannabis grow, it's aggravated burglary. You know what I mean? Straight away, you get locked up more than what they do.
But so he didn't get done for basically having any drugs.
Nah, they says as long as you give evidence against Brett like that, there says we want Brett more than what they want. They had an ad on for me for some reason. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. It says as long as you give evidence against Brett, you get full immunity. So this fella has admitted to dealing drugs for the last fucking decade. Class A's, Class C's, Class B's, give him full immunity. Bang, turned up at court, gave evidence against me behind the screen, ousted him at other end of the fucking country and gave me 3 years for blackmail and extortion. I had to take a plea bargain.
I suppose 3 years weren't too bad, but the bad bit was obviously finding out that your dad had passed.
That's it. You know what I mean? The jail's always horrible because you're missing out important times. You got misses, you got kids, you got anything like that.
How many kids you got?
Me, at the minute, none.
Oh, I get it. I thought you.
Nah,
right, yeah.
nah.
That bit did make me laugh. I seen this bit last night. It did make me laugh. Because Brett did, the way he said it then, it was like he had misses and kids and, you know, honestly, it made me giggle.
It's just, I'm just saying for general. Yeah. Yeah. So, no.
I thought he was going to like give a big announcement. Yeah, I've got 3 kids and, you know.
Well, a lot saying I've got kids to me, like, you know what I mean? But not many will let me have DNA tests. You know what I mean?
And then I suppose when you was in jail, you were probably like literally plotting
every day.
Right. And what when you come out, did you find out who it was?
No. He openly knew it was. It was someone who was like half all right with me at terms. They were making a lot of money in the game, illicit means. So I just thought, quick money. I find out we're making a lot of cash at the time. Don't have to get my hands dirty. And I'd say, yo, you want to live around here doing what you're doing? I want fucking 10 grand off you.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do.
I'll just point it on him like that. And
The thing I'll say is, considering Brett's got multiple sunbed shops and all that sort of stuff, why he'd want to be taxing people for money anyways is stupid, really, if you're a businessman.
yeah, half at times to pay, half at times run to police.
And when you that was your first proper jail stretch, 3 years.
Yeah.
And when you was in there, what sort of went through your mind? Like you said, you missed out on the quality times, but did you actually think, I don't want to fucking be in here again? Or
Fucking hate it, mate. Yeah, that was, I think that was my 24th jail sentence. That one. You know what I mean? Since age 14.
but that was the longest.
No, the longest when I was 18. I got 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah. That.
And what was that for?
2 Section 18s, but they run it all as one concurrent. So basically, if you type my name, Brett May, into Google, it comes up barbecue attack. You know what I mean?
Love that.
There's a good pal of mine. He's all right, back pals with a kid now. Like the other fella, I'm not. The other fella, I blinded him with one eye. He's only got one eye now, yeah. So, but he was supposed to be the hardest man in my area at the time, staying for a kid called Jamie Taylor. The other kid we called Paul Oxley. Pal of mine grew up. And what it was, I was at the barbecue, we're drinking with him, blah, blah, blah.
Any Dolly people in the chat, can anyone confirm this story to be true? Let me know in the comments, people.
And I had this bird at the time, and she was drinking with us. And I thought one of them was do you know what I mean, flirting and tapping it on. Well, they were anyway, but end of the day, I'm not with her now. So what I did is I just planned it to myself. I got these Cindy's pair of garden shears, what was in Corner Garden. And because he had a log burner where the barbecue was, I thought, there's about 6 of these here. I'm on my own. I thought, if I crack one of these, they're going to jump at me. And I was only 18. Jamie Taylor, 35-year-old bloke in his prime, big fella.
What I find mad, people, is he's actually saying the people's names. Now, we could have just come on and said, yeah, I do with such and such a body. And yeah, this is a thing happened. But to actually say the names is quite madness, in my opinion. Now, I might be wrong, but in my opinion, saying names is quite mad.
No, I fell in Stainforth, and Paul was a big lad, a year older than me. So I brought this garden shear in half and I stuck it in the fucking log burner. As I stuck it in the log burner, I waited for it to go red. And as soon as it go red, I pulled it out. Whoosh. Gave him one of them down here. And then fucking other one, stuck it through his eye and blinded.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so what I've got through my neck here, that one there, I've got it straight through his eye, took his eye out. I got 6 years.
Fucking hell. What happened? Was it just
6
like a
years,
Wild
that.
West fight? Everyone
No,
knows.
so as I've slashed him on back, Dave jumped on my back, started punching the life out of me, got on top of me. I could feel a few bangs. I've gone through log burner. I've got a burn on my arm here, where I tattooed over, where I've landed in the actual fire itself, and I've ended up dropping the weapon. Obviously, I want that size. When I was 18, I was only a skinny lad. I was only like 14, 15. And these were big old fellas. I thought, this, I'm tooling them. Yeah, I mean, that was my mentality at the time. It was wrong, but I had that mentality about me. So as I've gone through the fucking burner, I could feel these kicks and hits to head, and they must have thought what I'd done. But the first one I've struck with the fucking sheer Paul, he's got a big scar down here on floor. I've ended up managed to pick it back up, and as the Jamie's come back in, I've gone, yo, brother, woof, stuck it through his eye, blinded him. And then, yeah, costing me age, went lenient. I got 6 years.
That's a heavy. If that story's true, that's like next level. Fucking taking someone's eye clean out with a pair of garden shears, and 6 years. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that low or what?
6 years for one, 6 years for a concurrent. If they run it consecutive, I've got 12 years. But because of my age and they said I had mental health issues, ADHD, PTSD, and signs of personality disorder, the judges were half kind of lenient on me, to be fair. You know what I mean? So
with all these things, obviously that you know that you make it mitigating circumstances for your sentence. Did you when you was younger and you was at school, did you find it was hard to concentrate, and was you academic or not? Was school not for you?
No, I'm smart. I'm good. Yeah, good at classes. But yeah, like I said, ADHD, I found it hard to concentrate a lot. So I was just mainly into sports.
What says Brett?
But no, I'm smart. I can do maths and English. Right, yeah.
Right, wicked. And then when you went to jail for that, so that was your first time. So that was your longest sentence.
I'm the longest one. Yeah.
Right. So that was the first time.
Yeah, they sent me to North East for that one. Dearborn. Right. I was all up there in Barnard Castle, up in County Durham. So yeah, a long way from home.
And what was? I mean, did you have any aggro when you was in there, or
well up there? Nah, well, a few fights because it was YOs. You're gonna have a few fights in jail. You're gonna get tested no matter who you are.
Right.
You could be fucking Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? It's right though, isn't it? You're always gonna get some knobhead who's gonna say something, especially on YOs. On cons, it's chilled out majority of times. But YOs.
When you was in there though, Brett,
yeah.
What was the worst sort of violence you saw? It might not have involved you, but somebody else.
The worst violence I've ever saw. I mentioned this on the show. Atwood, where I'm telling him saying when I was in Dearborn in that jail, a fella called CJ from Sheffield. To be fair with you, he was in on my last jail sentence. I seen him on about this. Another fella called Billy Kirby from Leeds. What happened is
Yeah, he says
they had
name.
an argument in the gym. When
I might be wrong, but I think it's quite mad, to be fair, people.
I've finally gone back into the shower. I've walked in, they've had a bit of a fight. And another fellow up from North East, Michael Ferry, was there at the time. He's a well-known bare knuckle fighter. And we were watching them fight. And this Billy Kirby beats CJ fair and square. But no one knew he had a fucking double shank down his pants. So when it was all said and done, everyone's gone to walk out. He's come behind with his double-edged razor blade here. And say, like, where mine is, what goes through that way, is what that way. And he just went, yup. And then all of a sudden, I've like looked at this kid's neck. Yeah, this Billy's kid from me. He's like a flap. And the blood just went boom, squirting all over the showers.
That's like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, no, look, it was going to die, man. He fitted on 4 dice, so I've ran over. Obviously, only young at the time, I want that experience in it, and I've obviously put pressure, you know what I mean, on wound. And then within about 20 seconds, obviously, the screws have come running, everyone get the fuck out move. They put all their emergency plasters all around his neck, and yeah, saved his life. And after about 2 weeks later, I seen him come back on the wing. We've obviously shipped the other kid out now, CJ from Chef. I think he got something like 12 years added onto his sentence. And
you're not going to believe what happened.
Madness,
Tell me
people.
everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative.
How much of this story is true? As I say, I don't know, but that is a mad story. Like,
stitching was just all across around here.
And what was it? What was it? Was it just a disagreement or?
Disagreement, yeah, it could just happen like that, especially on the YOs.
yes,
On the cons, like you're saying now,
Big up the biz.
chilled out. I mean, if you're right with them, I'm right with you.
You're too busy playing PlayStation.
Yeah, come on, you don't want to do it. I mean, when you're 16 to 21, I don't know. Even myself, you think like you got something to prove, don't you? You know what I mean? And everyone's in the same mentality. Don't get me wrong, not everyone's the same. But usually on the YOs at that age.
What have you got another channel?
All right. Everyone just wants to fight for anything.
Have you got another channel?
Right. And so obviously you've done that, and you're out of jail. How old, when did you come out? Were you 22?
19, 21. Yeah, about
22.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, when you come back out,
A lot of things changed, don't they?
yeah. But what had changed? I mean, literally. I mean, I know we talked about what happened when you went to jail, when you got your dad for drugs.
Yeah.
But when you come out of jail, was he like literally bang on it, and it was just all going?
That's quite mad to think, though, isn't it, people? Is that was his 24th jail sentence, what he's just done. But the longest he's ever done is 6 years. Oh, he's been sentenced to 6 years, should I say. 24 jail sentences, and the longest he's done is 6 years. Hey, mate, need to build up when it's going to be doing FM videos and footy videos, pal. Yeah, fair play, Biz. Get it cracking.
It was hard to tell at the time because he did take a lot of steroids and go to the gym. He was pumped up, but then he'd have it behind closed doors. So he'd like be massive, about 19 and a half stone, big fella. But then he'd smoke the stuff as well. But when he got bad on the heroin, he just shrunk him down to like 9 stone. But so when I got out, it was still like decent size, but it wasn't proper bad. And then when I was out for a bit, it got proper bad on the stuff. And I thought, fucking hell, man, you know what I mean? I'm going round there, I'm opening the fridge. And when I'm opening the fridge, I'm finding heroin needles everywhere. I'm going into bin in the bathroom and that, and there's heroin needles. Everywhere I'm looking on the ceiling, there's blood squirted all over the walls and all around the back.
That's my other channel there, Biz. I just started that other one up, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do on it yet. But yeah, that's the other channel that I made there.
You know where it's been hitting main arteries and the blood's been fucking squirting everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I mean, not just my dad's blood as well. There's fucking everyone's fucking blood. You get me? You're talking people who's obviously going around and using and that their blood as well. But don't get me wrong, I fully love my dad. I used to tell him, I said, listen, I'm not having none of these fucking kids around here. And I was constantly fucking smashing people up, bro.
It must have been.
Yes, sweet Biz. Put it on. I'll start it up, mate.
It must have been. I've never understood why anybody would take it, and people that I know that have told me about people that have actually got addicted to it, whether they started smoking it before they injected it, and they've said like literally once it gets hold of you, you just can't get. You know, it's like the worst thing ever. You know, even if you get help, you go into rehab, you come out, you fucking want it again. There's no cure. I mean, I know some people say they're cured, but someone said to me, you're just one step away from making that fucking
100%. Only one lesson it's ever taught me: I will never in my life ever smoke a pipe or ever have any form of whenever. I've seen what that drug does to you, mate. You know what I mean? So listen.
Yeah, and that is true, people. I can say the same myself. Growing up where I grew up, there was a lot of them about. People that I knew. Don't ever get into it.
And anyone out there what's ever even thinking about having a pipe or having, if you're on it now, please get help. Because I've seen firsthand what it's done. I've seen my grandma get knives put to her and get TVs took off her. Through when my dad was on a rampage, it just turns you into an evil man. You get me?
So your dad would rob your grandmum for?
Yeah, then I'd have to fight him. Yeah, literally, I'd have to fight him away from my grandparents. He's got knives out trying to take TVs out of the house.
I mean, that just the image of that is just insane. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
you know what I mean? I've seen some crazy shit, bro. Trust me.
What's the maddest shit? There's got to be. That's crazy, but there must be something madder.
What outside?
Yeah,
outside on the streets. What I've seen people do. I've seen more bad things, mate. I mean, especially in jail since suicide. You know what I mean? Don't get.
I mean, a lot of people.
I don't mind the bit. I don't think it's
when you're in jail. It's people do. Do you think that was attributed to drugs, or do you think that was just people just had enough and they just go, right, I'm going?
A lot of times it's drugs, isn't it? You know what I mean? A lot of drug psychosis. No one on Spice screaming and shouting to themselves. Like one fella called Coops from Barnsley, I've mentioned it a few times. He cut his own throat in Marshgate. I watched him bleed to death. Screws couldn't get us all to ourselves at the time. I said, yeah, that was helping me. It was just gone, mate. He just fucking gone straight through jugular, died there and then. And then when I've been in old jail, I was a pid worker going up, went upstairs, top landing on his floors, went thing. I heard these screams of these lads, you gotta get this fucking door open. Well, kid just swinging, hanging, you know what I mean? Just off his bed sheet, straight through fucking like dead as a door now. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fucking bad to do, mate.
And
Yeah, dickhead.
when if you fast forward now, and then like you said, you come out of the jail. There was an incident that I knew about with the there was you had a fight in a kebab shop where people tried to kill you, didn't it? Was that
These are all the scars.
Business New Footy channel there. People go over and give it a subscribe. They're 90th minute and more.
That's it, yeah. So
when was that? Was that
it's for 217 to 18 time?
so that was after you come out after your dad had died?
No, that was before my dad died. That one,
Right.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So my dad's only just died recently,
Right.
last year. So basically, what England when they played Croatia in semi-final World Cup, not last World Cup, the World Cup before. So they were crazy. So basically, I've gone into this shop, yeah. Don't get me wrong, all pissed up, young lad, reckless lad, you know what I mean? I'm a rogue, you know what I mean? Sometimes can be a prick, you know, when you're a young lad there. And as I've gone in, and obviously the main travellers of the area, main gypsy fellas of the areas.
If you're being offered rubbish deals on credit, you should download the free Experian app and improve your credit score before you apply.
It's pronounced Fire.
Yeah. 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 Creamy. Yeah. 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 Thick. Yeah. 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 Protein rich. Fire.
It's pronounced fire for a reason.
Come on.
In Doncaster, ones who come in trying to lay the law down. So me being me, I've just got into it, mate. Crack one of them, crack the other. And just like, pulling knives out left, right, and centre. I took a few here to the.
Now, this is one of Brett's most famous stories. Anyone who doesn't know, as probably most people do know, the kebab shop attack. Now, there's a lot of different rumours around this story of why this attack happened. I'll be on it today at some point. I'm going to do a gym session, Biz, and then I'll be on.
Arms off. Because obviously they're defensive rooms. And when someone's coming at your head with blades, you got to put the arm on. So if you can see on the arm.
Oh, you got the scars, mate. Yeah.
Tattoo through there. My back's even worse. Like, you'll see them on Google Images. I've got one from my neck all the way to my ass, shoulder to shoulder. Same as my legs, everywhere. There's not an inch of my body, I believe, where you'll not see a scar on me. And I remember just getting stuck into one of them through the shelf, and I'm battering him. And I've already done one of them who's dead now, a kid called Callum. He cracked in before he come in first. And then I was just fighting for my life, about 30 minutes on camera. And what I didn't realise is one of the bastards have come behind me.
Actually, I thought it were 20 people who were fighting.
Them through the shelf, and I'm battering him. And I've already done one of them who's dead now, a kid called Callum. He cracked in before he come in first. And then I
5 people.
I was just fighting for my life, about 30 minutes on camera. And what I didn't realise is one of the bastards have come behind me. He's stuck straight through my neck here on the left side. Gone from my keys all the way up. I had 200 stitches here. All the way up.
So how many times would you say you were stabbed?
I was stabbed 16 times on that one.
Fucking hell, you beat 50 Cent. He shot 9 times. You got stabbed 17 times?
It's like 50 Cent. And I'm still smiling.
To be fair, Terry Stone, I do think Terry Stone's a legend, but being shot and stabbed are 2 completely different things. Let's be serious. Both brutal, but both completely different things.
But that must have been, I mean, I suppose when you're fighting, and I mean, did you actually know they were stabbing you, or was it just literally you just.
My arm, I did. I didn't know I was stabbed in the back or the neck, but my arm, I did. So there was a time where, when I told the first kid come in, because they were coming in that many, I had to put my foot on the main door. So they couldn't all get in at the same time. But because the overwhelming of numbers was loads of them, and I was only there on my own in the middle of a shop. And the Asian men whose shop it was, obviously, they'd been armed blagged that many times. They were pressing the panic alarm, what was underneath, and I never knew none of this. So I'm there kicking the shelf over so no one can get round the back of me to get on me with machetes. And then grabbing a couple of bottles here, chucking at them, chucking a couple of bits and this and that. And they're coming at me, trying to lash. And I was taking the defensive wounds in the arm at first, but getting a couple of shots off. But my punches were like busted them, busting their nose, busting their eyes. But these are trying to hack my face off, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I thought, I can't let them get to my face, no way. So they got to the next best thing, the neck. So
And then how did that end? Did you just pass out, or did it get broken up, or did the police come? What?
Well, there's a video. If you type in Brett May stab on here, it comes up with Lou Fuse, who does all the BKFC video.
Yeah, no, I have seen this. This is one of the videos what I first seen when I first come across Brett May. And like most people would probably thought, who the fuck's this mad guy? But then as time goes on, you get to know who Brett is. But yeah, when I first come across this video, I was like, wow.
When Andrew Bakehoff, BKFC, he's put it on his video. It shows me walking around the shop, no top on, covered with all the stab marks all over me, head to toe in blood. And Dave took off and ran off. I was still jumping up around. Don't get me wrong, I was pissed up. You know what I mean? That might have helped me not feel might not have helped me feel the pain. You know what I mean? Don't know, mate. They could have took off because they probably thought, yo, we've stabbed him in the neck here. He's going to die. He's been fighting with us. I don't know. But yeah, Dave ran off. I'm still walking around the shop. Fucking Muppets. Fucking let's get out. You know
Did you have a kebab in that hand?
No, so what I did is there's a
That'd be funny.
there's a famous story. They shared it in the press. They said Brett May went for something to eat afterwards, yeah? Right. So everyone's got these fucking visions, yeah, and me sat down. I'm an Indian. I'm having 16 stab wounds, yeah? So that's when they started calling me the Michael Myers of Doncaster. You know what I mean? Halloween special, bro. I love that.
Honestly, like, you can tell there's something not right in his head, the way he reacts to his own things. But, like, you know, the man's been through some madness, clearly.
Oh, you get me? Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that's brilliant.
But but there's a bit of truth to that, but not a bit of truth. So what I've done is, because I've covered that much of these stab marks, I couldn't hardly breathe. I thought, mouth's a bit dry. And then the Asian man who shop it, what he says, brother, you need to lay down, put your feet up quick. I said, your neck. I looked in the mirror and my neck's just going, zzz, zzz. I thought, fuck, you're squirting, juggler. So I thought, put my hand on here. I thought, I need to get ambulance quick, I'm going to die. I put my hand there, grabbed this jug of milk, as daft as it sounds, not by that hand, by this hand, right. And I drank this milk as fast as I could, yeah, because there was something what I read. If you stabbed or shot or anything, if you eat something or drink something quick, it put.
Now, was this actually true, this? If you've been stabbed or shot, if you drink something or eat something with sugar, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's more bloodstream in you. So I quit that now.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, this is what I read up. So I drank it.
There you go. There's a tip from Brett, mate. There you go.
And I grabbed, and as daft as it sounded, a Boost bar, yeah. So I grabbed this Boost bar, yeah, and I've got ate it. And there were people recording me outside. I never even knew. You know what I mean? So they shared it all over. They said he's not bothered. He's been stabbed 16 times, and the fuck is eating a Boost bar. You know what I mean? No wonder I'm 21 stone much. I'm surprised.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Cadbury's can get on the phone.
He must have said you get me at least 500 times in this.
Do you know what I mean?
Fucking one of them.
Could have been the Boost man. Do you know what I mean?
If they can give the beef, will find a boss. I want Cadbury shares.
I mean, what do you think? That is mad that I'd be for boss thing, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean, I saw it and I was just like, I didn't quite get why, you know, but people said he looked like a Lego character.
Fair play to the lad. But I keep seeing him everywhere. And honest to God, it's madness how you can become famous nowadays, people.
I want to meet him one day, though. He's a funny looking dude.
He's funny. He's funny. But he's probably, I mean, he's DJ now, isn't he? And he's, you know, he probably went there on holiday, just mind his own business.
Mind his business, mate. Some dickheads just recorded him, haven't they? And then before you know it, they've shared it viral.
Bet Victor. New customers can get £30 in bonuses and 30 free spins when you.
I'm sure he enjoys it. I'm sure he's got loads of female attention. He's getting a few quid, so I'm sure he's happy about it.
The game of G-Wagon boys wrote it off.
Yeah, fair play to him. He's made a killing out of it.
Funny, have you seen it? Yeah, he wrote it off with it. Some by accident, yeah, madness.
So going back to obviously you then obviously phone 999 after your Boost bar.
No, so basically then the Asian man
said
all these sirens. Arm responsive come in, bang, and ran straight in. Mass on law, get down, like that. It says you. Just literally grabbed my arms like that. Wait, I said my neck. They went, no. They had this like fucking emergency fucking like padding and gel. Slapped it straight on my neck. They went, listen, it says, I'm a trained fucking medic. I was in army before arm response over guns. To be fair with you, man, to save my life. You get me? I'm not gonna lie about that. I've had my issues with police in the day, but they saved my life that day. Yeah. So I'm forever grateful for that. 100%.
Was you singing last night a policeman saved my life?
But still.
but you know what? I think there's a, you know, if you're a religious person, or you believe in God or the universe or whatever it is, you know, whatever. I do think that when your time's up, your time's up.
1,000,000%. And I thought there was a time there I thought it was coming because puddles of blood, all the ceilings were blood, everywhere's blood. And one of them who I've been fighting with in the shop, I think he's grabbed the knife wrong. So when I'm hitting him, I'm like hitting him as hard as I can through the shelf. And where he's grabbed the knife, he's grabbed it wrong, and he must have tensed it hard. He's took the top of his finger off. So his blood squirting everywhere from his hand. He's took his finger off.
So my man's gone to do Brett and he's squeezed the knife that hard, his fingers come off.
Well, knives getting thrashed around everywhere, mate, rolling around. A couple of them got stabbed in process. So their blood. They weren't wearing masks. They weren't wearing gloves. So everything were all on full camera, mate. And it just went viral, mate. Calendar everywhere.
So I take it they all got arrested.
Yeah.
Did you get arrested as well?
I got arrested, yeah.
Right. Someone got arrested, and what was the outcome of that?
So basically, to get to that, so what happened is after that, they had to keep me in the shop, and then an helicopter, after it sound, they had to do an emergency air service to Sheffield Northern General because Doncaster didn't have the facilities to treat my wounds, so they had to airlift me to Sheffield Northern General Hospital. And when I was airlifted there, I was 18 hours in theatre to put me back together again. And then once I put me back together, I can remember coming around, but bearing in mind I'm on a lot more for you know what I mean?
Right.
And as I come around, I just see all calendar crew and all press, ITV News and all this and that. Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, I'm cool. And then all of a sudden, Cindy's a woman and a man pushed past them, CID. It says, we're serious crime unit, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to make a statement? We've got the culprits here on camera. If you make a statement.
Now, there's a lot of people who say Brett may put a statement in, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, Brett says he didn't put a statement in. But you've got to put yourself in Brett's shoes here, people. You've just been chopped up after death. Police are on your case now. I don't know. Obviously, many people ain't going to talk. You don't want to get people jailed off, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think on that one, people.
And today we can give them all like 20, 25 years each. I said, listen, I says, I ain't been brought up that way. I said, I don't make statements. You know what I mean?
Right.
I said,
well, so he all got like 25 years anyway, didn't he?
Says, no, nothing against you. I said, appreciate what you're doing, but I said, I don't make statements. I'll go court.
Right.
And they went, sure. Last time I went, sure. They went,
well,
we're sending
as well. If Brett's saying they didn't wear gloves, they didn't wear bowies, and there was bang to rights basically on camera, well, they wouldn't even need your statement, would they?
I'm down anyway. Because it says the camera's crystal clear, the audio's crystal clear, and the Asian men who shop it is a bit statements. I don't know. I said, well, listen, that's not to do with me. Yeah, you know what I mean? I says,
you get that
way.
There you go. So Brett May, you got it here, man of honour.
Gotta be, aren't you? You know what I mean? You gotta be, man. You know what I mean? You can't live on two sides of the fence. I've been brought up that way by my dad. You know what I mean? I've never shot anyone in my life. I think only people whatever needs grassing up in this world are people and rapists. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've also seen recently, obviously, you've been very vocal about. Are you a Reform fan?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Because I know right now there's a massive sentiment in the UK where
shout out Tommy Robinson. That march that they did this weekend, and all the press and all that are trying to say, there were loads of violence, all this sort of stuff. There weren't no violence or anything like that, and it was a record breaking with the amount of people that turned out. Unbelievable.
And people are like worried about sort of uncontrolled immigration. People are sort of saying, the political parties have lost their direction. I mean, what's your views on it, Brett? Because obviously you've been brought up, like you said, in the Thatcher era, right? Yeah. How old are you now?
35 now.
Right. Okay. 35. Yeah. So I'm 19 years older than you.
19 years. Yeah. Oh, come on, son. I thought you were the same age as me, bro.
I'll take that. But how have you seen it change since you was born? I mean,
of course. I bet you have as well.
Massively.
Yeah, massively. I have. I've seen loads. Well, when I was driving in here, I seen Basildon, all the roundabouts and all the lampposts. Well, everywhere, all the English flags, aren't they, at the minute? And yeah, I just think, especially with Sadiq Khan and what have you, I just got to be honest with you, I just think he's just let the country down, and massively. I just think when there's war veterans on the streets, you know what I mean, and people are getting the piss up clean out of them, to be honest with you.
I agree with Brett. You can't not agree. When you've got people who fought for this country on the streets, and then you've got these refugees in the hotels getting phones, clothes, free meals a day, all this sort of stuff for free. How is our country being run properly when this is happening?
Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line.
That makes sense.
You know, you can understand if it were women, children in these hotels, but there's no women and children. They're all men aged between 20, 19, 20, 30, 40 odd year old men. All absolutely shit their pants and left their missus and kids and come over here to do what?
Well, you know, for me, whatever race you are, whatever religion you are,
yeah.
If you've got a flag and you want to fly it, I'm cool with that. Do you know what I mean? But
100%.
but you know, the thing that grates me is that, you know, we're sort of being made to feel guilty about being British, and there's all this fucking shit. Like at Christmas, you know, you can't say Merry Christmas, you can't say Merry Christmas. It's seasons, greetings, happy holidays, and all this bollocks, in case you offend anybody. And it's
100%.
like, look, if I go to a Muslim country and they're celebrating Eid, I'm saying Happy Eid. You know what I mean? I do not give a fuck about. I don't get offended if they say Happy Eid. If I go to America and they're celebrating the 4th of July, and I'm celebrating the 4th of July, but I don't get offended by what other people want to celebrate. I just embrace it.
I'm a big believer, if you're living in someone's area, you have to respect their culture, and our Western culture isn't that third world culture. And when they're trying to pawn the Sharia law and third world culture onto us, I don't agree with it. If you want to do that, please do it.
It's like a video I see the other day, people. You know, there's a video over there on Facebook where it was in Liverpool and the council taking England flags down. They were going down, taking England flags down. And the guy who's recording them doing it, right across the road, there's a Palestine flag flying high, yet they haven't took it down. Now, you can see why people are getting mad. You know, if I ain't saying the Palestine flag can't be flown in this country, what I'm saying, if you can fly that flag, why can't you fly our own flag? You know what I mean? That's why people are getting pissed off. Because if you can't even raise your own flag, but other people are raising theirs, then there's something not right.
In Afghanistan, or please do it in Gaza, where originally from. You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's going to be a brush of cultures, isn't there? So I remember someone speaking highly about this. You don't see Palestinians in Jordan waving the Palestinian flag because they won't allow it. You know what I mean? Certain countries, just like Egypt, what's next door to Gaza, they're not taking no one in, are they? It's a touchy subject, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean, what are you? I mean, there's all this, you know, unrest about the hotels at the moment, right? Where they're saying why these you know, people being put in these hotels in these areas. I mean, what do you think about that? Because it seems to be the whole of the UK is very unhappy about this at the moment. It's not just a small minority. I mean, obviously in the paper, it's only the far right, but
telling you people, change is coming. People have had enough.
When you talk to everybody's concerned about it. It's not just the far right.
100%. Well, there's a few arguments. To be truthful, speaking in mind, if you see like
this far right, far left shit, I don't agree with it.
And kids coming over, young women and kids, and they're saying, we're getting tortured up here in Somalia. Then, you can imagine, listen, this little girl's here getting, this woman's getting. No, these are fighting fit men from 18 to 35 years of age who are coming here on small boats, and there's been 600,000 let in already, and they just haven't got the room, have they, mate? You know what I mean? There's no statistics to fund them when our war veterans are on the streets who's fought for our country, who can't get ousted, and people are getting the priority took over them over these. For you right now, are you still in Doncaster? Are you still up there? Doncaster. Oh, right, okay. So you're never moving. You're always going to be there, right? Still stand, man. Do you still have? Have you had any issues up there with the immigration stuff or not? No. It's listen. Every major city in the UK, I believe, has got a major immigration problem now. Right. You know what I mean? I personally believe Doncaster's got its problems now. Right. You know what I mean? There was an incident over there where a guy had his arm chopped off. One illegal alien to another.
And it's mad because Brett even does say in this, you know, you don't hear this sort of stuff on the news when it should be. You know, they're out here chopping people's fucking arms off.
His full arm off in the middle of Doncaster Centre and then started shouting religious context as he were doing it. And then, but they'll never put it on airtime. And then when we've all turned up to the town fields, the police and armed response have gone and took him to the floor. And then they says, "Oh, we think he could be mentally ill, but he wasn't mentally ill. He ended up getting locked up." But they'll never air it because they don't want panic and they don't want diverse. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's leaving division.
And obviously we
Right, what we're going to do, people, we're going to do a part 2 to this. I'm going to end this live here because I've got a few things that I need to do. But we're going to do a part 2 to the Brett May Terry Stone podcast later on this afternoon. Big up everyone who's jumped in, your old legends, people, and I'll catch you on the next one. Part 2 coming on later. Peace.